Joe actually did. Anyway, Shapiro exposes celebrity hypocrisy at the Super Bowl.
Tonight, of course, was the Super Bowl. And I have to say, the power of capitalism to basically use whatever it can, whatever's at hand to make money is truly astonishing. It was kind of bizarre to watch the Super Bowl, particularly the halftime show yesterday, and note that all these people who were rebels against the cause, these were folks who were rebelling against the system, systemic racism, here they are being paid by the NFL, which is one of the biggest corporations in America, the most powerful entertainment in the country, to sing songs on behalf of these corporate overlords, these rebels.
Turns out it's worse than that, actually. They literally pay the NFL to be able to sing songs. I cannot believe you claim to be a rebel without a cause. You claim to be a rebel against corporations, and here you are getting paid by them to survive. And then they'll turn around and go, oh, well, why? Do you need more money? Do you need more money? It's like, this person has $1 million already. He doesn't need more money to survive. It's like, what's it to you, dude? So it's okay, like, because you work for a fucking megacorp, as literally every single person does. By the way, it's worse. They didn't actually get paid to perform. They pay to perform at the Super Bowl, but like, it's only okay to be a fucking douchebag millionaire if you're also making that money by lying to people.
Rebels against the cause. And meanwhile, the NFL is happy to make money and make ratings off of a group of people who, in any sort of normal circumstances, would have been canceled years ago. There are a lot of criminal convictions on that particular stage. There are a lot of lyrical violations of sort of social norms on that stage. I'm not talking about right-wing social norms. I'm not talking about Tipper Gore saying that we ought to have warnings on lyrics. I'm talking about left-wing social norms. But the fact is that capitalism can take the piss and vinegar out of pretty much anything. And that's what that halftime show was last night. Honestly, number one, it demonstrates how old our country is.
I mean, he's talking about how capitalism has a tendency to fucking co-opt supposedly revolutionary movements and either commoditize them or completely fucking sedate and neuter them, which is true. Black Lives Matter is a great example of this. So he is right about that. But like, that doesn't fucking, I don't know. That doesn't change the reality on the ground. The things that those people are fucking fighting for are still true. Every time I join you, we're always eating, Hasan. You fucking idiot. You absolute moron. First of all, you've been following since January 12, 2021. You've written one fucking time. 2, I eat one meal a day at the same fucking hour every day. Okay? It's like claiming, oh my God, at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break, which you forgot to fucking run at the top of the goddamn hour and are running now. What the fuck? Well, it's like, yeah, of course, dude. That's what I do. I run an ad break at the top of the fucking hour. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. I am a human being. I need to fucking eat. Okay? All right, you need to eat. Where is that? Someone said only one meal. Why are you so fat? Because I eat your mother's pussy every night after I have sex with her. Oh my Lord, dude. Also banned. Aaron Yeager _ devil is this fucking weirdo's name. Anyway, running the ad break now, by the way. Let's continue with the fucking Ben Shapiro.
Because, this is now throwback music for people who are about my age. And I'm 38, and I was watching some of the Super Bowl with some friends last night who are, early 40s. And they were bopping out to music that they were listening to in high school because our entire culture now revolves around the artists of 20 years ago. And these are all a bunch of 50-year-old rappers. I mean, the fact Mary J. Blige is 51 years old, and this is the younger crowd now. Remember that for the past couple of Super Bowls, they've gone a little younger. They did Bruno Mars, and then they did The Weeknd, and these are younger.
Chat, Ben. Chat. Ben's a drainer, dude. He's like, hypothetically, why don't we use Blady? Why can't Blady play at the Super Bowl? Why is it that we have the same exact celebrities play music from 20 years ago? Hypothetically speaking, if I were to say that I'm Drain Gang and I wanted Blady to play at the Super Bowl halftime show, everyone would say, no, Ben, that's not going to happen.
Folks, but they went back to kind of the old, right? The classic rap gods of the 1990s and early 2000s. And I just want to point out once more that the social standards that the left holds when it comes to culture just do not exist. They do not exist. Violence against women, apparently totally okay. You don't get canceled over that anymore, depending on who you are and what kind of art you perform. The lyrics that are overtly anti-gay, totally fine, so long as you also hate Donald Trump. So long as you are seen as a weapon against the system, the left is willing to take you back in. And hilariously, corporations are willing to use you as their spokespeople, and you're willing to take their money. This is really corrupt and perverse little tie, but you do have to appreciate the power of money making.
It's always strange whenever fucking Ben and all these other people like refuse to understand that like rap music comes from your personal experiences and the material conditions that you are subjected to. That's how art is made. Okay? Like, he just like, he's like, why won't the argument is so fucking stupid. Well, he doesn't even like rap music. He doesn't think rap music is music, but it's the lived experience of the people that are singing, right? And writing these songs. But also, I don't understand why like NFL executives who make decisions on who gets to perform at the halftime show are now leftist. That's really weird. How the fuck is the NFL leftist when they literally, like Ben literally thinks NFL will put end racism on the fucking sideline behind the touchdown field, like behind the touchdown area. And Ben's like, what? Look at that. They're communists. And then in the same fucking breath, he'll say, they don't even care about this. He said he wasn't going to watch NFL because of that.
It does make me wonder whether inevitably we're going to end up with basically two sports leagues. Whether at some point people are just going to want a sports league that does not allow this sort of stuff to impede the play or get on the field. And people are just going to view that, because I got to say, like, I've been fairly tolerant of this stuff in terms of watching sports my entire life. There are only a couple of times where I've really turned off the TV. One was, when it came to Sports Illustrated, I was a lifelong subscriber to Sports Illustrated. My parents gave it to me for my bar mitzvah. I had Sports Illustrated subscription for like another 10, 12 years.
He's so horny, dude. He's so fucking horny. He's like, I like jerking off the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. And when I saw Caitlyn Jenner, the things that Caitlyn Jenner did to my penis were not good, folks. Hypothetically, I was very turned on. Hypothetically, I was, let's say, bricked up, hard as diamonds. And I did not like that. Sports Illustrated made me very upset. I had to immediately cancel my subscription.
Years. I used to keep the old issues in a box. I mean, that's how much I enjoyed it. And then when they decided, you know what, it's important for us to feature Caitlyn Jenner on the cover, when Bruce Jenner had not been an actual athlete for 3 decades. And all of a sudden I'm reading about transgenderism in Sports Illustrated. I was like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore because this has nothing to do with sports. And I subscribe to a sports magazine. I'm not doing this anymore. And the other is during the Kaepernick protest, when it became incumbent on people to somehow approve of the hands up, don't shoot symbology that was being put out by particular players. I'm tempted to do the same with the NBA now that you have LeBron James, who was willing to basically virtue signal on behalf of the communist Chinese government.
Wait,
but
what?
Rip Drew Brees. It's getting to the point where I don't want to watch sports.
So he's like upset that La China, okay, He's upset that La China is like not criticizing the Chinese government. And he's saying like La China is supposed to criticize, Lamau is supposed to criticize the Chinese government actually. Like he's just basically saying like, I want athletes to protest in the way that I want them to. I want athletes to be political, just my way. Everyone here at this point knows I love LeBron, right? I think so. I don't want anybody to think that like when I say Lamau or, you know, Le Xi Jinping, Le Bisexual. It's my favorite one. It's so stupid. Le Mickey Mouse. Like when I say stuff like that, I'm obviously joking. Le Bisexual is my favorite because it's like so clearly created by like someone who is super insecure about their own sexuality. Who like still thinks saying someone is a bisexual is like a diss. It automatically clocks you as like a 38-year-old person.
My place of comfort has been removed from me, and it may not be restored until there are actual sports leagues that remove politics from the sports. To really take any sort of power and edge out of the message and just turn it into pap that you pump into elevators. It really is kind of an amazing thing. Let me just point out who was on the stage last night during the Super Bowl halftime show, because this really did occur to me while I was watching it, is that the NFL has been attempting to get away from the, you know, we are the league that has a lot of criminal convictions routine. They've been attempting to get away from this. And so on the stage, they had Dr. Dre, who has been accused of multiple instances of violence against women, including assault of Dee Barnes, who's convicted in 1991.
Is there a black person that will ever be featured in the media that Ben Shapiro won't fucking pull up their criminal background and criminal records on? That's wild. He's bringing up 30-year-old cases, dude.
Quote, people talk all this bleep, but you know, somebody F's with me, I'm going to F with them. A woman named Michelle, who was the mother of one of his children, accused him of domestic violence. Another woman named Terry B. accused Dre of assaulting her. He was convicted in 1992 of battery of a police officer. He apparently allegedly drove drunk in 1994. And now, he seems to have improved his life pretty dramatically, Dr. Dre, although in 2016, Suge Knight accused Dre of a kill for hire plot. But let's just say that these are offenses that in sort of a normal world would get you canceled these days, right? Because time is of no limit. When we go back 20, 30 years.
Wait. I don't get it. Like, the thing that right-wingers love doing
years and find some days, right? His life pretty dramatically, Dr. Dre, although in 2016, Suge Knight accused Dre of a kill for hire plot, but
did Ben Shapiro just fucking quote Suge Knight in his process to vilify Dr. Dre? Ben Shapiro turned around and quoted Suge Knight as an honest broker, a trustworthy source. And you know his fucking Caucasian audience is, of course, completely unfamiliar with Suge Knight's background. So they have no idea who this person is. So they'll just be like, yeah, that makes sense. Got it. So the only thing that's happened with Dr. Dre in recent years is when Suge Knight, you know, who isn't he fucking in jail right now? That guy is you know, that's the reliable orator here.
Let's just say that these are offenses that in sort of a normal world would get you canceled these days, right? Because time is of no limit. When we go back 20, 30 years and find stuff about people and destroy them. But Dr. Dre was leading this off as a great hero of the Republic, and then he had...
Yes, he is defending cancel culture. He's like, why can't we do cancel culture to black people? He's like, it does already happen, motherfucker. It's like when cops just kill black people for no reason. But he's literally like, it's not enough. Systemic racism is not enough. Why can't we also cancel every black person that's ever appeared on television?
Snoop Dogg, who, of course, has been arrested for everything from cocaine possession to first and second degree murder. He was acquitted on those charges, but arrested for them, to drug and firearm possession, to implication in a rape case. He wasn't arrested for that, but there was an implication that he was...
Wait, what? Okay. He's like, it doesn't matter. He was arrested, not convicted, but also doesn't matter. Still guilty until proven innocent. Except he was proven innocent, but it's still guilty because they thought he was guilty. So, dude, it's obvious. He's just like, he's literally just like, I don't care. They're black and it scares me. Okay. They're black celebrities and it scares me. I don't like it. I don't like what America is coming to. This is just such a fucking dishonest and such a pussy, cowardly fucking way to couch your criticism in like some kind of moral consistency and try to make it seem like you're literally not a fucking racist asshat. We know what the fuck you're doing, Ben. It's very obvious that you are literally looking at the situation where you're like, hey, I don't like it. I don't like that there are famous, cherished black celebrities that are on television doing a halftime show. And I'm going to act like it's there's a difference in like canceling white people versus black people. Literally creating an argument that it's okay if you do cancel culture when someone's black.
Involved. He was last arrested in 2012 for possession. And Snoop Dogg, of course, is now a hero of our culture. And by the way, in January, he cut a song that included the following lyrics. And I know it's always a risk when I read lyrics, so we're going to take this slowly. Okay, this is the following lyric. It was in January of this year. Quote, all you N-words out there, take your guns that you're using to shoot each other and start shooting these bitch-ass MFing police. That'll impress a MFing N-word like me. That was like January. And here he is in the biggest cultural event in America in February, right, rapping at the center of the stage at the behest of a major American corporation. You got 50 Cent up there, who was arrested in 94 for cocaine trafficking, in 2003 for criminal...
Dude, I love Snoop Dogg. What a G, dude. Holy shit.
criminal possession of a weapon, for battery in 2004 for jumping into a crowd to go after a person who threw a water bottle at him. In 2013 for 5 criminal charges, including one count of domestic abuse, domestic violence. And normally this stuff sort of gets you... I thought that this was bad. I thought that, even according to the left, I thought this stuff was bad. No? Not so much? You have Eminem, right? Who famously was sort of pre-canceled because of all of his lyrics, including ones about violence against his ex-wife and about raping his mom and about stabbing gay people. All of that sort of stuff is in his lyrics. But then he said that he didn't like Trump, and that of course, fixes everything. And of course, he was arrested twice in 2000 on gun charges. So you have to admire the power of the American capitalist system to ingest.
Dude, wait, he's literally bringing up people's like records from 20 fucking years ago. Like, he's not even trying. Literally just like bringing up shit that people did 20 years ago, bringing up records 20 years ago. Like, yeah, of course, this doesn't fucking mean anything. Him defending, him attacking Trump has nothing to do with the reason why Eminem is like, I mean, first of all, I don't even like old Eminem. I mean, new Eminem. But it's been fucking 22 years, dog. If you're bringing that shit, like, the statute of limitation is gone, you know? That halftime show was great, though. I was definitely soy facing. I like the nostalgia shit.
All of this radical stuff and then just vomit it back out as commercial selling stuff, as the product that normal Americans will consume. It really is an amazing, amazing thing. I thought the best example of this last night was Eminem. So Eminem, he kneels for a full minute in the middle of this halftime show. And he just kneels and puts his hand on his head for a full minute, right, to demonstrate that he is in touch with the Black Lives Matter movement and with the needs of Black people. And it's so funny how the media pretend that this is somehow controversial now. This is it's so funny. So Eminem does this, and Deadline runs.
Okay, but like, it's not, and I agree, but you're still making it feel like it is. Like, I don't think it's controversial. The media doesn't really think it's controversial either, for the most part, but you're the one who's like making it seem like it is controversial. If you didn't fucking complain about this, no one would think it's controversial.
Runs an entire piece, Deadline Hollywood. They run this entire piece. The NFL must have been shocked at this, shocked. And then the NFL came out with a statement. And their statement was, oh no, he did this during rehearsal. We knew like the whole time that he was going to do this. So just to understand what the NFL did here. In 2016, Colin Kaepernick, a backup quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers who'd been benched for the immortal Blaine Gabbert because he sucks. He knelt for the national anthem on the basis, by the way, of a police shooting that apparently was justified. And this is after he wore socks that compared police to pigs and all of this. And this created a massive national...
God, what a pussy. I can't deal with this dude. He's like, how are these guys? How did these? First of all, he was not a fucking backup quarterback. He was a starting quarterback. Didn't he go to the Super Bowl the year prior too? But it's like, it's so fucking weird that Ben, oh, 3 years prior? Sorry. Look. The annoying part about this, the annoying part about it is like, he's such a bitch. Like, he's crying about, yeah, Matt Gaetz, 3 DUI arrests since 2014. Obviously, that's acceptable. Obviously, that's really totally fine and valid because Matt Gaetz is white and also a Republican. Okay, so that's fine. This is a conversation about like leftists, liberals, whoever Ben perceives as liberals, and Black people who are always, of course, automatically perceived as liberals unless they are like openly in support of Donald Trump. Putting a 13-minute video like this is, you know, it's actually kind of cool. Like, he's actually putting more effort into this content of like being racist than I ever will be able to put into my content. You know what I mean? Johnny Cash went to jail. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Ben says the bisexual unironically. Johnny Cash went to jail. Tons of country singers went to jail. They've even written songs about doing crimes and abusing substances. He's framing it as an issue that only pertains to rap music. Look at the trajectory of rock music in this country, going from radical music to commercial music meant to sell something. This is the stupidest take. The sole purpose is to make the racist connotation rap/black equals crime/bad. Yes. Matt Pat level analysis? Are you telling me I'm doing Matt Pat level analysis? How did Hitler get inspiration from Jim Crow talking about American brain rot? Wait, you didn't know that Hitler got inspiration from Jim Crow laws? So your immediate reaction was to say that I'm probably wrong? And then you came in and you said Matt Pat level analysis because I said what? Anyway, listen. I can't even defend my king here. It says unironic Ben Shapiro supporter, unironic Ben Shapiro viewer. Oh, he's talking about Ben Shapiro doing MatPat level analysis? Yes.
Controversy, right? The NFL got engulfed in it. Now, fast forward 6 years, and Eminem is kneeling for a full minute on the stage to the NFL's approval. The NFL is making money off the kneeling now. That's the power of capitalism, guys. It's so funny. The left thinks that they own the culture, and to a certain extent they do, because when corporations ingest leftism and then spew it back out in a sort of sanitized form, people still ingest leftism in a sanitized form. But
so he admits it, like, you know, being a leftist is antithetical to capitalism. Got it. Okay. Agreed. Corporations are commoditizing and co-opting like radical, sometimes revolutionary actions and movements and turning it into nothing, a shell of what it once was. That's true. This is true.
there is something very, very humorous about the NFL, which was targeted with these protests, now taking the protests, spinning them around, and making cash off of them. There's something really highly hilarious about that. I mean, and this is the message, by the way, from, I would say, the mainstream political left. The mainstream political left will take radical messaging, they will ingest it, they will sanitize it, and then they will spew it back out there for money, which is why you saw in the end zone, and the NFL has been doing this for the last year, really since the Black Lives Matter stuff cropped up over George Floyd's, almost 2 years. They started putting at the end zone the words end racism on one side, and it takes all of us on the other, which of course ends racism.
I mean, that's hilarious. Exactly. It's dumb as fuck. But like the people that are doing that are not leftists. They're corporations. And he's right. But he still gets triggered by it. So what's wrong with you? Like, I've never met someone who recognizes that this is transparent pandering for mega corporations like the NFL to make more money, or at least sanitize their imagery, while still absolutely exploiting the fuck out of like new era gladiators that are comprised 70% of black workers for the, you know, that's the demographics of the league. And yet he still turns around and is like, I'm still triggered by it. It's like, he doesn't even want to see that. He knows it's bullshit. He knows it's aesthetic pandering, and he still doesn't want to see that. Even aesthetic pandering, God forbid, is horrifying and unacceptable for Ben Shabibo.
I mean, as we all know, if there's one thing that ends racism in the United States, it is putting the words end racism at the back of the end zone in NFL.
What? What a surprise we're reacting to things, stealing content, Pepega, React Andy. I've had the stream pulled over for a few hours. When will the reacting stop? The only thing you do like MatPat is make hours of yourself talking. Difference is he is smart and you are a React Andy. Stop streaming React Andy. Stop streaming React Andy Pepega. I'm keeping this one. I'm keeping this one. This one's awesome. This one's fucking dope. This one is really good. I love this one. All right, that's a pet.
NFL game, because there are tons of just vicious white racists who are watching the NFL game. And until now, they're ready to go burn a cross on their black neighbor's lawn. But now they saw the words end racism at the back of the end zone. They're like, oh man, F racism. Racism's the worst now. I saw it said end racism in the back of the end zone. Roger Goodell tells me it's time to end race. And not only that, it takes all of us. Racism ended. Or alternatively, these corporations are playing you. If you're a radical leftist and you think that these people are your friends, they are playing you.
What radical leftist thinks the NFL is a moral organization that is like in support of genuine leftist causes? Who's he talking to? I find myself asking this question all the time. Whenever I'm watching a Ben Shabibo video, I'm like, who's he talking to? Who are these people that he is supposedly like leading away from being duped by the NFL?
And by the way, if you're on the right and you think these corporations are your friends, they're not. They're willing to use whatever is at hand. If they feel like they can make a buck off the woke by mirroring woke messaging, they will. They have no principles. They don't care. It's all about just making the money for them. That's all.
You know what's funny though? If they do, like, when corporations do come out with like one of those like pandering aesthetic fucking bullshit on the right, like whenever they turn around and do that for like right-wing causes, and it doesn't happen regularly, but when it does happen, you know his bitch ass is soy facing. Like, oh my God. Oh, the libs are really on today. You know what I mean? But like, you just want more corporations that pander to you. That's it. Like, you don't have any sort of like, you don't have a real, valid, or even like any sort of consistent criticism on corporations pandering to social justice movements or co-opting the social justice movements. You literally went to fucking Home Depot and you bought a piece of wood. You're like, oh, I love Home Depot. I'm going to buy a piece of wood here because I'm so manly. I love Chick-fil-A. It's like, dude, you just want, like, you are just as much a fat piece of shit, a fucking hog, just as the rest of them, okay? Every American is the same. Every American is just a fucking couch potato. And all we know and all we can do is basically just engage in a fucking battle over what our commodity choices or what our commodity consumption means, okay? About our identity. That's it. These are the cultural signifiers.
And the Democratic Party is the same way. So right before the Super Bowl, Joe Biden went on national TV because we have this dumb tradition where the president of the United States hijacks this giant cultural event and does these interviews. By the way, I love the fact that we are still social distancing. So we've got Joe Biden sitting 83 feet away from Lester Holt, okay, before the Super Bowl. Both of them octuple vaxxed. 70% of their body weight made up the vax at this point. And by the way, everybody unmasking. And Joe Biden then decides that he's going to rip on the NFL. Now, you think the NFL's upset about this? The NFL isn't upset about this one iota because the NFL will find a way to make money off of this, which is why you have Roger Goodell saying, oh, yeah, of course we're racist. Of course. Also, if black Americans, if you could give us more of your money, in fact, we'll have a halftime show featuring many of your favorite artists, as long as you keep giving us more of your money. If we say we're racist, will you give us more of your money? So Joe Biden is this for the Democratic Party. His policies can be as bad for black Americans as he wants them to be. And his policies are indeed crappy for black Americans. His inflation is hitting black Americans harder than it is hitting white Americans. The unemployment that will likely follow an increase in the interest rate will be worse for black Americans than it will for white Americans.
Why?
He doesn't care about that. He cares about making a buck.
Wait, why? Why, Ben? Perhaps there's a systemic reason for it, right? Why, Ben? Why is inflation hitting black Americans harder than white Americans, Ben? Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. All of a sudden, Ben Shapiro, when it comes down to criticizing Joseph Robinette Biden, a Democratic president, aka Jim Crow Joe, recognizes that black people are fucked harder by the administration's actions, by, I don't know, the consequence of a capitalist economic organization of society coming harder down on those who are already in dire circumstances. What the fuck? I would love to ask, like, what do you mean by that, Ben? What do you mean? You're talking about inflation hitting black Americans harder. What does that mean? Are you perhaps saying, by and large, that black Americans are in a worse financial situation overall than white Americans? And then I would love to ask him, like, why do you think that's the case, you know? How do we get there?
Which is why he goes around on the road saying that all of his political opponents are people who would have been Jim Crow racists back in the day. Because if he mirrors the messages you want him to mirror, will you love him? So here is Joe Biden ripping on the NFL for its supposed racism and not having more black coaches. Says Joe Biden, who goes around bragging about how he worked with segregationists in the 60s and 70s. Like, really, it's amazing stuff. Here's the president of the United States, Lester Holt.
But Ben likes segregationists. What the fuck? Why is he acting like he's anti-segregation? I'm willing to bet there's video out there of Ben Shapiro literally praising Joe Biden for being like not as crazy as the woke mob. And even pointing out the fact that he's worked with like crazy segregationists even. Maybe not segregationists by name, but regularly fucking has collaborated with. I mean, Ben likes the apartheid state of Israel and will fucking defend it. But that's different, you know what I mean? We're talking about American segregationists.
A league that is made up of so many athletes of color as well as so diverse that there's not enough African American qualified coaches to manage these NFL teams. It just seems to me that it's a standard that they'd want to live up to.
An old white man is telling you that the NFL is super duper racist. Yeah, that's great. And by the way, Roger Goodell doesn't care. He doesn't care. As long as you keep pumping that money into his pocket, he does not care. And neither does Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't care about any of this stuff. Just vote for him and give him your money. And keep voting for him as a 90% block if you're black, and he'll be a happy camper. He doesn't care about any of these messages. It's ridiculous. It's really stupid. By the way.
Okay, I'm so confused. Like, he's not wrong. But like, does Ben know who he is? Like, he's not wrong about Joe Biden. He's not wrong about Roger Goodell. But you can't then turn around and complain about it then, dude. It's so weird. He's like, all of these people are corporations and they don't actually care about black people. But then even the aesthetic pandering is like incredibly offensive for him. Like, is he yelling at them to do better? Like, is Ben literally saying like, these people don't care. What they should actually be doing is solving the material problems that African Americans are subjected to as a consequence of, chattel slavery and systemic racism and, what happened in the Jim Crow South and what happened in redlining and even in the Jim Crow North, as a matter of fact. America has a lot of sins to live up to. Like, that's not what Ben is saying. He's not going to turn around and be like, and these corporations need to do better. They need to actually, put their money, not proverbially, but literally where their mouth is. And instead of funding police departments while throwing up the Black Lives Matter fist, hypothetically, what if these, community movers and shakers, what if these gigantic mega corporations were hypothetically lobbying the government to make sure that reparations bill passes? That's not Ben's position. Ben's position is that like systemic racism doesn't exist and these corporations are just using it as a fucking talking point. And even if he recognizes that there's a talking point there that they're using, he's offended by it even being a fucking talking point that they mention. This entire video is, I know these corporations are aesthetically pandering to radical ideas and co-opting and commoditizing them because all they care about is profit, because that's capitalism, baby. But even then, despite knowing that it's bullshit, I'm still gonna get mad at it. Incredibly strange person.
I'm just going to point out this as well. Remember, Donald Trump was very, very bad. He was very bad. He commented on Colin Kaepernick. He said he shouldn't kneel for the national anthem, and that made him terrible. Why would he even comment on cultural events like this? Why would he get involved in the culture wars, Donald Trump? Democrats have been there for 50 years in the middle of the culture wars. There's Joe Biden commenting on the NFL.
That's bullshit. No one said, why is Donald Trump getting involved in a culture wars? Everyone said, Donald Trump is personally using the bully pulpit to make demands of a private corporation that should punish a person who is an anti-racist activist. No one said Donald Trump shouldn't be. Donald Trump shouldn't be, dealing with the culture. They said he shouldn't be dealing with the culture the way that he is. Republicans literally do culture war all day, every day. It's so stupid.
No one seems to care. It's fine. After all, he's a Democrat. He's allowed to say whatever he wants about the NFL. He's allowed to criticize the NFL. He's allowed to criticize NFL players or NFL coaches. He can do whatever he wants because he's saying the things that the left wants him to say. And they know this. They know this. Meanwhile, final note on the Super Bowl. So they still have a mask mandate for children in California. Every kid in LA County is going to go to school today with a mask on. Here is a compendium of some of the celebrities at the Super Bowl not wearing masks. By the way, no one was wearing a mask yesterday at the Super Bowl. And the LA County put out a big list, a big ad, like you should all put on masks. Well, there's Jay-Z not wearing a mask. There's Matt Damon not wearing a mask. You see, can you spot a single person in any of the, there's Charlize Theron. Anyone wearing a mask? Anyone surrounding these people wearing a mask? Anything? There's LeBron. Is he wearing a mask? No, of course he's not wearing a mask. There's J-Lo and Ben Affleck, the awkwardest celebrity couple of all time.
Literally outdoors. Everyone is fucking vaccinated. Everyone's vaccinated. It's fucking outdoors. Of course. Of course, motherfuckers are not wearing a mask. Also, doesn't this quite literally prove your point, Ben? That like, or doesn't this quite literally destroy your point that like nobody likes fucking wearing masks? Nobody? $70K people, doesn't matter if it's outside. That's how many people died last month from COVID. Okay. Well, at this point, here's what I have to say to those people. You didn't get vaccinated. GG's, okay? Sorry. Don't go to the fucking Super Bowl, bitch. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. I don't give a fuck. I told you this already, and I will keep repeating it, baby. Call me a hog all you want, baby. What, you think I fucking got these vaccines for no fucking reasons? So I can sit home all day? Fuck no. GG no re, bitch. You go to a fucking big gathering like that, you get COVID and you fucking die because you didn't get vaccinated? Well, sucks to suck. You should have gotten vaccinated, bozo. We told you to get fucking vaccinated for 2 goddamn years. Well, not 2 years, but you know what I mean. L. Hold this fucking L, bitch.
There they are. There's Emmett Smith. Anybody, not a mask anywhere in sight. Nowhere. There are no masks because they are the special people. They are so special. The science changed magically right before the Super Bowl. Not for the kids, of course. The kids are going to go to school today, and they're going to be masked up in LA County. But at least Jay-Z did not have to wear a mask, and that's really the important thing.
Disabled people would disagree. First of all, dude. First of all, what do you mean disabled people? Like someone who's like fucking in a wheelchair? Someone in a fucking wheelchair is like, you know, they're not able to get fucking vaccinated for some reason. And for the immunosuppressed people, don't go to the Super Bowl. What an insane fucking take, dude. If you are immunocompromised, if you're immunosuppressed, and it's fucking flu season, let's say we are not living in a COVID world. Let's say we're living in the pre-COVID world, and it's fucking flu season, okay? And you're immunocompromised, you go to the Super Bowl. What's wrong with you? Don't go to the fucking Super Bowl. This dumbass taking it. I mean, dude, it's insane. It's insane. It's insane to just be like, dude, you literally... Like someone is so immunocompromised that they can't get the fucking vaccine, but they have to go to the Super Bowl. Like they're literally like, I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl. Shut the fuck up. Like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? I have to go. Bitch, don't go. Make a Wish kid want to go to the Super Bowl? Dude, I'm going to say shit that's going to get me canceled, okay? Immunocompromised person here. HasanAbi is 100% correct. I don't go anywhere during flu season. What about the Make-A-Wish kid who can't get vaccinated because he's immunocompromised and his last wish is to see the Super Bowl? I mean, I think that kid can see the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's GG's for him anyway. Okay, come on. What's he gonna do, bro? Survive? No. Let him see the Super Bowl. It's not like that's his third wish. That's his last wish, dude. Last, okay? Fulfill that wish. Motherfucker be like, oh, what about Make-A-Wish kid's last wish is to go to Super Bowl? Bro, let him go to the Super Bowl, okay? What is this? Gamers finally finding out what women look like? Can you explain to me why the hell Aloy has a beard? Oh my God. Bro, this is so funny. Tell me you've never been up close to a woman without telling me you've never been up close to a woman. Like, does this motherfucker not realize that, like, women have peach fuzz? That's hilarious, dude. That is awesome. This person has never, ever seen a woman. Are you fucking kidding me, Hasan? That's a new low for you, man. Wait, what? Suspicious user, ban evasion. What? Because I said let the Make-A-Wish kid go see the Super Bowl, even if he's immunocompromised? Wow. Seems kind of fucked up that you're against. How dare you make fun of a dying child that we made up? I mean, that's the joke. Like, they're dying anyway. Wow, you're a piece of shit, man. You fucking piece of shit. Uncalled for. Pepe Lamau. What do you mean? What is going on, dude? Are you okay? Are there a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids in here? What the fuck? Listen, boys. I want to make sure that the Make-A-Wish kid gets his last wish. I feel like it seems like you guys are against it. Kind of fucked up. Anyway, let's continue. Fuck, I just closed the Ben Shapiro tab. God damn it.
Last night, of course, was...
Where the fuck were we? Oh, he was doing a compy of all the celebs. Where's the compy? Oh, here.
Asking.
Enough African...
School, J-Lo and Ben Affleck, the awkwardest celebrity couple of all time. There they are. There's Emmett Smith. Anybody? Not a mask anywhere in sight. Nowhere. There are no masks because they are the special people. They are so special. The science changed magically right before the Super Bowl. Not for the kids, of course. The kids are going to go to school today, and they're going to be masked up in LA County. But at least Jay-Z did not have to wear a mask, and that's really the important thing, I think. The elites who create your culture and ingest your messages and spew them back out to you for money and are the richest among us. And remember, all the people on the stage who have spent their lives rapping about the evils of the American system are some of the richest people in America. Eminem is worth 200.
I love that. Hey, you fucking piece of shit. Both Eminem and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg are quite literally the most self-made fucking millionaires you can have. None of them are fucking leftists. I know that just because you are the son of some fucking violinist in LA and lived a life in the lap of luxury, and assumed that these people should never actually, criticize the system that they were born into that fucked them, does not mean that those people can't. It's incredibly fucking frustrating. Kendrick might be leftist. I think Kendrick is probably, I don't know. There are some sussy things that Kendrick could be, but I hope he's a leftist. I love him. Kendrick Lamar could go either way, you know what I mean? Like, we could be talking pre-Mecca Malcolm X or post-Mecca Malcolm X. If you know what I'm saying. I do love him.
$130 million by last estimate. Dr. Dre's worth way the hell more than that. He's a billionaire, Dr. Dre. Rapping about the terrors and horrors of evil racist America. It's all about the Benjamins, you might say. I hope you enjoyed that clip.